Do you get a lot of now being a band in Europe? I mean, do you get a lot of people from the US? Do you have a fan base over here? Is there like, because I always feel that your band gets sort of forgotten. People remember HammerFall and some of the other power metal bands, but I always think that this band, as I said before, just doesn't get recognized as much. But do you ever get like a US fan base? Have you ever really wanted to come over here and play shows? Has that ever been a possibility for you?
We're going to do a show in the United States.
Okay.
Prog Power Festival. The thing is, like, we have like 13 kids in the band. It's kind of a hobby project. Because everybody has daily work, and yes, we have the possibility to be a full-time musician, but kind of nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why we get forgotten also, because we are not like, it's just like, oh, we have a tour here, and we are like, no, even if you can make money to live on it, but nobody wants to do that. But also the upside of that is, like, when we meet up, we have so much fun, and we love each other still, and all that stuff. Like, we can meet up 4:00 in the morning on the airport, and we hug and stuff, and we directly start making jokes and laughing and have super fun together. If we were a full-time musician, that will die. So
yeah, no, I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's why we try to, like, keep it like, low. Is it not low, but keep it not too much. If it gets too much, it's we start fighting and stuff like that, and we don't want to end up in that stuff.
Oh no, I gotcha. I'm sure you've seen some of that happen over the years as well. And not only that, but if sometimes too, when you're not doing something like this full time, you still have like this excitement and this fire to do it. Where I've seen musicians in some bands, it's kind of like they don't want to be there, and they're kind of a little bit miserable. Not everybody, but there are musicians that are like that. And you kind of keep the fire to really make these albums, or keep making these albums really good. Because I'm sure, as you know, when bands are not happy with each other, or there is conflict, making some of these records is not a fun thing to do, and it can affect the output. It affects the outcome.
Absolutely. And it's like playing in a band. Now we're talking about heavy metal, mainly male people playing in heavy metal bands. Mm-hmm. It's like you get a marriage with 4 other guys that you don't have sex with. So, I try to do the same in my personal life. I don't live together with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if you can, have somebody in your life and you meet them up, not every day, but from time to time, everything gets so much easier. That's how it goes for me anyway. So, and I think for the rest of the band also. So you can go home and, do your stuff and whatever.
Record a record, maybe play some festivals, maybe play some shows here and there, but you're not like dealing with the grind of the road. And especially in today's environment, let's be honest, if you're a musician, it's a lot more difficult with the economic times that we're facing and the rise of cost of everything now, which was much different, 20 years ago. Right. And
yeah. I think the drummer in Exodus, he explained it really well. I'm not a musician. I'm a traveling salesman in T-shirts.
Yeah. Traveling T-shirt salesman. That's pretty much, if you think about it.
But it's like fucking rent a tour bus today is just like $10,000 for a week. Yeah. And then on top of that, you have to pay gas and everything. So yeah, it's hard to make tours today.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like, I remember HammerFall when they came here. They had a bus, and a pretty big tour bus, and I'm sure renting that back in 1998, 1999 was probably a lot cheaper than it is now. It's relatively to what they probably would get paid. You know, I mean, they were playing small clubs, but you know, they still had a pretty big tour bus. So I'm sure that they were able to get that. I mean, I remember seeing you brought up Saxon. I remember seeing them here. They had a pretty big tour bus, but they probably played a club of like 200 people. This is 1998, 99.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
it changed a lot, actually, to be honest, after the COVID shit.
Yeah.
And also these tour companies, you know, standing there with their expensive buses and everything, and didn't make any money for 2 years. So they kind of had to make up for that, you know. So yeah, everybody in the music business was suffering so much from the COVID stuff.
Yeah. The last people to go back to work were musicians.
Yes.
That's literally what it felt like.
Yeah, and suddenly everybody wanted to go out and play.
No, absolutely. No.
Yeah. Also, what's happened was like a lot of the tech people, you know, sound engineer and so on, that they, you know, they couldn't get any work for 2 years. So they started to be like, one of my friends, he went to be a carpenter instead. And, you know, he's like, after he worked as a carpenter for 2 years, and he was like, fuck no, I'm not going to go back there and work every fucking weekend, late night and stuff like that. I make my money here, and I go up 7 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, home at 4, and I can see my family. So there was a lot of sound engineers and stuff like that was just like left the business totally.